Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome to another fine episode of Record Breakers. I am Petey Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me is my crew, my fellow Record Breakers. We have Drew.
Oi, oi, rude boy.
We've got Brett.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got Patrick.
Howdy, partners.
Mm-hmm. We're here gathered once again to talk about music, and of course, the provider of said music this week is none other than Drew. Drew, what album do you got for us this week?
This is a ska band from Huntington Beach, California. Sometimes from some called the boy band of ska music a little bit. Band by the name of Suburban Legends, with their album Day Job.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting album, to say the least. Hashtag interesting. Brett, what expectations did you have coming into this album?
I knew that when Drew picked it out that it was going to be a ska album. Sometimes he doesn't pick ska. This time he definitely did. And with that knowledge, I assumed it was going to be very similar to seeing that I knew it was a newer band that I hadn't heard yet. I assumed that it would sound more modern than some of the other picks that he's had.
Mm-hmm. Patrick, what expectations did you have coming into this album?
So I am a fan of a specific Suburban Legends EP that they did a couple years back called Dance Like Nobody's Watching, which is it's really good. So I at least knew who the band was, but I had not heard this particular album yet. So I had a pretty good idea what I was getting into, but it was still all new to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting record, to say the least. Drew, what are some of the themes and elements to look out for with this record? What makes it tick?
Well, this album specifically came after they delved more into the disco side of Suburban Legends for a few records. So this one was kind of their return to form, as it were. Vincent, the singer who took over from their ex-singer Tim Marr, I think is a great frontman. His voice is sort of just meant for ska. It feels like he was born for ska. It was like that Aaron Barrett style of like Aaron Barrett and who's the other frontman I'm thinking of? I cannot think of his name right now. Terry Hall. That's it, Terry Hall. Their voices were sort of just meant for the genre, and it just feels right. He actually started in the band as the trumpet player, but I'm so glad he moved to the frontman. Brian Clem is a great guitar player, in my opinion, a really solid, really good guitar player in a genre that doesn't really feature a lot of guitar. There's some points where he can stretch his legs in this band, and they're sort of known for their ridiculousness. They started out as a band, as I said before. They sort of started at their day job of being a house band for Disneyland. That's where they got their money while they were still doing underground shows and trying to make a name for themselves there. And they still play every so often. The album is actually a hint at the fact that this is their first studio album where they put a couple of those covers that they do at the park in there. And I think it's a really fun sound. Their horn melodies are really all over the place, really a lot of fun. And they're just a solid ska band overall.
Mm-hmm. Brett, what were the themes and elements that caught your attention? What seemed like to make this album tick to you?
Whimsy. This album has some whimsy about it. That's par for the course for ska. There's not a whole lot of sad, depressing ska out there. It's sort of an upbeat style of music to begin with, so it's kind of hard to go the other way. But they definitely turn the wheel towards the we're going to have some fun, and we'll get into that when we start going into some of the songs they did. But this was very upbeat, it was a lot of the same flavor that I was getting from like Less Than Jake. Surprisingly, way newer. A lot of time has passed since I first heard that style and sound, but they're keeping it going strong. But yeah, most definitely. They really won me with their having fun doing what they do.
Yeah. Patrick, what would be the theme song on this that caught your attention?
I would definitely agree on sort of the fun aspects to Suburban Legends. Really, really strong horn melodies. I think they use them sort of as, I think their first foot forward is these really catchy hooks and horn melodies. The other thing is just being a third wave ska band that at one point, like Drew sort of alluded to, kind of had this weird like disco dance element to it that this has stepped away from, but there's still can dance to it, which I think is good to have. Having something that makes you wanna move and not just be sedentary trying to listen to ska music. It makes you want to sing along and dance.
Make you wave your arms, skank around. Woo!
Not gonna get
That's
up and
for
skank,
sure. Yeah, definitely. Drew, what would be some of the key tracks to key in on? Some of your favorite songs on this?
Well, some of my favorites. Open Up Your Eyes was sort of I believe it was the first one they let out into the world. They debuted it on a radio station, and it was sort of a signal of what the album was going to be. It was a huge return to form for them, back to what sort of got them started in the ska scene. And I think that was kind of cool. They were making sure that people knew their bread and butter was ska music. They weren't going away from it, which some people, for better or worse, kind of gave them a hard time about in the ska scene. They were like, we're still ska band, guys. We know what we're doing. Doodlert. Doodlert is one of those songs that's just sort of out of left field. It's a fun sound. It's got a little bit of the 80s twinge to it, which I like. And it's a song that on stage they have a lot of fun with. There's the guitar part that goes through, and there's dance parts that they will put into that, the horn players and Vincent, during that part, which I think is always a fun time. Just Can't Wait to Be King. As I said, fun Disney covers. They do them live, and it was always a fun time when you heard them, like, start up on, like, Kiss the Girl or, the song from Lilo and Stitch, or, like, whatever they wanted to play that day, at the show for their cover. It was just a lot of fun. So to hear that on the record is really, really cool. Just Be Happy, song that's kind of what the band's about. It's like, why go through life and be angry and be mopey? Like, it's happy, it's cool, like, life is awesome. And Can't Stop It. Like, Can't Stop It was a cool lower key way, I think, to sort of smooth out at the end, but still keep the dance happy feel to it, still keep a boppy feel to it, and sort of put a little bit of pep in your step as you walk away from the album.
Mm-hmm. And keeping true to form, Brett, what would be some of the key tracks for you?
Well, right there with you, Doodlert. Gotta have that song. Emergency, do the Record Breakers thing, because Drew didn't do it. The opening track tells you what's coming on, what's coming, what they're doing, how they're doing it, what you're gonna see later. Really sets the foundation. But more than anything else, I gotta tip my hat to anyone who has an intermission track, like, about midway through the album. I mean, they have a song called Snack Break.
Yeah.
And it's groovy, and it's an intermission track. Good on them. It takes a lot of work to make that happen and go smoothly. Everybody should have an intermission song from now on. There's no reason why not.
Yes, I think Drew is indicating that the Mulligans may in fact have an intermission song.
We did.
Which is a beautiful thing. But yeah. Patrick, what will be some of the key tracks for you?
I love the covers because I am a sucker for a good, like, let's take the genre we play and shove a cover from a different genre into it. It's why I like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. And their covers are so well arranged. I mean, clearly they've been built over years of playing them live and playing them, at their, day job. and the arrangements are really impressive. I just can't wait to be king. The song from The Lion King, a movie that basically was one of the 2 or 3 movies that identifies my sort of generation of Disney movies. And that song's really catchy, and I definitely had it on cassette and sang along with it in the car for years. My parents probably hated me for it, but the cover's really good. The harmonies are perfect. The vocals, they just dive fully into vocal affectation to the characters that they're recreating, and I think it shows that they're not trying to be cool. They're just trying to make a really excellent cover, and Under the Sea was just as good. I really liked Arigato. There's just they just mix stupid Japanese into it for no reason whatsoever, and it's just turned into kind of a fun song, and I kind of liked it for reasons I cannot describe. It just made me happy for some stupid reason.
Yeah, some fun tracks. Like you're jumping into some fun silliness, and those Disney covers you gotta love. Like they're just so much fun, and I got to agree on Dude Alert.
Yeah, it was Dude Alert like just a little bit Motley Crue.
Yeah, I think that was
I mean, that kind of worried me for a moment. I'm confused by that song. I don't know how I feel about it.
If you look at the band, specifically in my opinion, Brian Clem, it will end up making a little bit more sense. Because Brian Clem is the most ridiculous human being on the planet. He's the guy that will be in pink, spandex pants and a Wu-Tang shirt for no reason. So they get the joke, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. Yeah, some fantastic tracks. Going back around the horn, let's go back to you, Brett. What would be your conclusion about the album overall? Kind of what would be your rejoinder at the end of the day?
There's nothing here that is groundbreaking. It's not transforming the genre. It's not, breaking fantastic new grounds. But an album doesn't have to be that to be worth listening to. And this album is worth listening to.
It's like the old saying, you don't have to reinvent the wheel to make a good set of tires. Patrick, what would be your conclusive thoughts about the album overall?
Suburban Legends are keeping the third wave ska alive in a lot of ways. A lot of those other bands aren't really doing it anymore, or at least, a lot less of them than there were. And I think they have their own brand of it. The horns are better than most. I think they're way above par. And the Disney covers are so good. I can't express how much I enjoy them. It's stupid and lame and cheesy, but it's so good. And it's a solid album. I mean, there's nothing bad here. It's got some good stuff on it. Definitely worth listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some fantastic tracks. Drew, back to you. What would be your conclusion about the album overall? What would be your last word?
I picked this album because Suburban Legends are some of the nicest guys I've met and make some of the most pure, fun, bubblegum music ever. It's just that sort of music that just at the end of a shitty day will make you happy. And that to me is what ska is all about. They're solid musicians. It's obvious they put a lot of work in. And I would like to eventually sit down with Brian or Vince again and ask them how they went from being a band to then getting a day job at Disneyland, and then Disneyland being okay with them going on tour for months out of the year, and then just coming back and playing again. That's gotta be a ridiculous story, which I think would be a fun interview to get. But other than that, they're just a lot of fun. It's good music that will make you smile.
Mm-hmm. Good music that'll make you happy. Happiness. Happy times. Yay. But yeah, that's our thoughts on Suburban Legends. For a good time, call Suburban Legends.
What time is it, Petey? What time is it?
It's the main event of the evening. It is haiku time. It is time for our haiku reviews. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see who goes first. I'm gonna flip the script. Patrick, what is your haiku?
Good time ska music. Rather excellent covers. Trip to Disneyland?
Woo-hoo. Brett, what is your haiku?
Following the formula. Made zero boo-boos to boot. Solid ska album.
Nice. My haiku. Fun ska silliness. Good tunes to dance around to. Great for a snack break. Drew, what is your haiku?
The dancing ska band with a bit of Disneyland. The boy band of ska.
Nice. And that is our haikus. And that concludes our thoughts on Suburban Legends. Go check them out. If you want to listen to Suburban Legends and all of our other albums that we've picked for this show, play Record Breakers, the home game, you can do that on our Spotify playlist. If you want us to curate a playlist somewhere else, just let us know and we will do just that. On that Spotify playlist is going to be next week's album, which is going to be provided by our special guest, one Viking lass, April Ness. She's going to be bringing us something completely complete polar opposite of this album. Soilworks, The Panic Broadcast. So look forward to that. And of course, and that is also going to involve a lot of, April being April, so you can't hate that. That's it. Look forward to that. That's it. You can find us all over the internet. Patrick is at The Swagger. Brett is at Hibbity Bibbard, HIBBITYBIBBARD. Drew is at XDrewSuperX. I'm at PD Rave. The show is at 4 Record Breakers, the number 4 Record Breakers. RecordBreakersPodcast.com. Rebellion.net. Do the things, subscribe to the things. I believe, go check, either nominate or vote depending on when this comes out and what part of the process is going on right now. Cause we backlog these, at the chat room awards, go and give us a little bit of support. We want to, get ourselves a little bit of free publicity. And that's always fun. But that's it. Go on and do the things. Until next time. Hasta los huevos.
They say the heart of rock and roll is still beating.
Say it.
Toodaloo.
What do you think, Crunchy?
Got a crunchy in camera.